22-year-old Chelsea Sherry suing her daughter, 22-year-olds, and for selling her property without permission.
And Miss England, you were living in a mobile home with your father. Miss Barbara, this is your daughter.
Correct.
And how long were you living in the mobile home with your grandfather?
I want to say about a year.
Who were you living there with?
My grandfather and myself.
When did your grandfather pass away?
January 13th.
Of this year.
Yes, ma'am.
And the mobile home was co-owned by you and your father?
Correct.
And it is your claim, Miss Barber, that your daughter finally moved out of the trailer at your request and owes you for rent, utilities, and also sold some of the things that were in the trailer that belonged to your father.
Correct.
Did you and your father purchase it together?
Yes, Your Honor.
When?
He's been there forever. In '02.
Prior to living with your grandfather, who were you living with?
I was actually on the road in the carnival. My grandfather wanted me to come home.
When you came home, what did you bring to live with your grandfather? What did you bring
Just
with you?
the clothes I had with me when I left.
After your grandfather passed away, did you sell any of the property from the trailer?
I did, with her permission.
What property did you sell from the trailer?
Refrigerator, I had to sell to make ends meet. The patio furniture, I had to sell to make ends meet.
Well, what ends did you have to make meet?
I have a 4-month-old baby. I was pregnant about a month after my grandparent when I was taking care of my grandfather, and I gave birth. Father passed away.
Prior to that, were you working?
I was working until morning sickness and a high-risk stop, and pregnancy caused me to, in which case I still took care of my grandfather who was on his deathbed.
So after a brief period of time, you were not working and you weren't working after your child was born. Tell me about the conversation that you had with your mom.
I asked her to come and get the stuff that she wanted, my brother wanted, and my stepdad wanted from my grandpa's house.
And she gave you permission to sell anything in the trailer.
I had asked.
Well, just a minute. Why would you do that?
Because I had just given out a whole bunch of interruptions from everything else. It had been a month since my grandpa's birth, and I wanted, time with my newborn baby, which really underneath the understanding that I could stay there until she sold the trailer.
Well, when did you have the
Father died.
Well, what made you think that since the mobile home belongs to your mother?
Right, and it was
Conversation.
when my grandfather was still alive. He was a witness to that.
I don't want to hear you witness. Your mom said you can stay there until I sell it.
Correct.
Did you say that she could stay there until you sold it?
I told her she could stay there, Your Honor.
Until-
I was going
Fine.
to let her stay
There until. How much are you selling it until you? Did you sell it?
It's in the process of being sold.
For.
All I can sell it for is $700.
Did you give your daughter permission to sell anything?
No, Your Honor.
What do you think she sold from the trailer?
The refrigerator, the patio set was brand new. It was not even 2 years old.
I just don't know why we're here. I mean, we're talking about nonsense. We're talking about the whole trailer is worth $700. So if you had a refrigerator that was almost 20 years old in it, so you had some new patio furniture. I mean, I'm asking you, why are we here?